especially are from qualitative background as well. Somehow or the other, we are always intrigued in our research journey. We will try for mixed methods and we will move towards different models. We will try to adapt new models. We will create new innovations. This entire thing will lead to the betterment of our research gap, which is very important because whatever done by the peers, we must continue. It's like a relay race in academics or in research that one has done one innovation, we have to take it forward in a positive manner. And then there are certain challenges and there are certain limitations. But yes, we have to ask questions, as our previous keynote speakers have suggested that we must be in doubt. We must use our especially in terms of our research problems, we must create something very new, something very novel. So let me share my screen and start with my presentation today. I will also move towards a short live demonstration to show you. I will use Google Colab today that to show you that how I can design my own model and how I can implement that in my, especially those who are from quantitative research design. So let me start. For the first part is, yes, let's move towards the journey of quantitative research designs. Now, what we understand now that in terms of the innovations, we are, of course, we moved with the numbers when there is a large data sets. Sometimes we need to filter what we need, and we have to also hit and trial methods has been tested and done before in the ages. But now we are blessed with technology. Now we are blessed with of course, with models, mathematical models that make our life very easier, very faster. And of course, now the AI integration. So everything which comes in our mind in terms of the argument, in terms of the reality check, does it applicable here? Can I do this? What is this problem that I can solve with my research? So everything revolves around that direction. And in quantitative research, let's talk about the relationship between the numbers. Very, very important, very intriguing. You see, whenever I want to design something like an experimental design, I have to think about the response versus the factors. I'm sure everyone do that. I mean, there are certain variables which is affecting certain responses. What are these variables? Dependent variables, independent variables, and then I will come up with how I can increase that particular response in terms of its efficiency, in terms of its efficacy, something which has not been done before. So this is very, very important. And for that, and must make sure that my research gap is well completed. In order to do that, we will take the help nowadays in the modern context with the AI. Yes, AI can help you in terms of literature review. Now, this is the first step, but before that, you must understand and ask questions in terms of your research problems, that where is the gap, what has not been done before, why this problem still exists, what I can do in terms of my experiments. I can perform certain experiments, I can prove, or either I can improve, or I can increase the efficiency, something which deals with the optimization parts. And you have already seen that in terms of science and engineering, especially in industrial level, everything is optimized because it saves energy, of course, and the more productivity, and of course the growth is higher. This is one general paradigm of any successful research innovation, where it must be compatible, it must be very much optimized, and it has a high efficiency with low energy costs. This is, after all, also included in our SDGs. My today's session will discuss this particular aspect and how, even if you are from qualitative research, you can use mathematical models and you can have a mixed method approach. You can use these models in order to increase, of course, your efficiency, increase, and also it will take lesser time. And rather than having, more time in your research part, then you can verify and validate. Very, very important. reproducibility is one of the important aspects. So we'll discuss today design of experiments. We'll discuss certain optimization tools. And you are from any background. You are from science and engineering. You are from sociology. You are from humanities. You are from education. You are from economics. You are from education. Any background. You just have to think that how I can apply with response versus factors, and these models, can I do it my research study, how I should do it. I will take the help of Google Colab and I will discuss this in detail. Now, as I have already stated, let's focus generally, in terms of the definitions. We'll talk about the objectives. Now, any investigation, we have to be very, very important that the numerical data that we are gathering, we must formulate to analyze this huge number of data. And that is how the quantitative research designs are more equipped in order to make, whenever they talk about the numbers and the large data sets, yes, there are so many statistical softwares are there. Previously, we are using Minitab, we are using Statistica, we are using Stata, we are now, then of course, we are using Sigma. We are using SPSS nowadays is very popular. And of course, in our times, Statistica was very popular. And of course, with the due course of time, there are the Max QDA has come into play. And we have also done the live demonstration of max QDH if you are having a mixed method approach. So everything, when it comes to the statistical analysis, it is very important. And you have seen that so many qualitative researchers are now using the data in terms of the statistics. And this will have a very good combination, because when you have a large number of populations of data, then you can easily filter what is very much required, what is actually what you're trying to say or solve the problems. It will come in the application process as well. Now, just to highlight the key characteristic, and then I will directly jump for the live demonstration. And I will take one example of mine, as well as the open, since it's an open discussion, it's an international conference. You can also share your own in the chat box, then I can try to see that if we can do it in Google Colab or not. Now, as I've already stated, there are 4 simple steps in this one. Everything is very much structured in quantitative research. Even if you've done the surveys, the large number of surveys you have done, you have quantified them, and then these large number of samples, you can analyze statistically, as we are doing in a general way. It is very much popular. And then we can come up with certain conclusions with certain models, and then we can validate, yes, it is true, what I have done in an experiment, actually I have done it in a whatever the mathematical model suggested, I have done it in an experimental part, and both are very much near to each other, and that's why my system is now optimized. And one very important aspect is the reproducibility, because for the peers in quantitative research, one thing is very important. Can you reproduce what you have done? If you are using unethical modes, yes, of course, then it is not possible to repeat that. Because if an researcher or a group of researchers has done something in Denmark, something in Germany or in US or in Canada, it can be reproducible in India or in Nigeria or in Uganda or in Southeast Asian countries or in Australia. So it must have a reproducibility part, which is actually promoting the transparency and the validation of the data. And yes, we are using, for the accurate part, we are using this quantitative research designs. Now let's directly jump towards the Google Colab. I was just wondering that why, instead of using ChatGPT or Perplexity or any other AI tools, or instead of using the software itself, can I use a Google Colab with Python? Can I prepare my own design with my own the process? And your process and your thinking must be right, and it must be in sync with the research gap, because you must do your literature review very correctly, and then you come up with certain solutions. Can I do that? And then you move towards the design of experiments. So now let's move towards the Google Colab. And today I will discuss one RSM technique. And those who are from the qualitative background, I will tell you, for the RSM is something which we call a response surface methodologies. And certainly we use CCD models, the central composite design models. For example, just consider that you are yourself in a box. Okay, so you can put your hand on the left or the right and your legs on the two vertices. So in every direction you can choose. Now, if you have, if you want to go for any optimization, for any process. For example, if I in my industry I have certain process to prepare certain goods. Okay, if I'm preparing a plastic molded or cover for my mobile phones. Now, in order to prepare that, everything in automotive industry, in manufacturing sector, everything must be optimized to its level so that I can have a growth. Otherwise, I'm, if something which is not being optimal in nature, I'm always got stuck in that position, and of course I will not able to grow. This is the first part. Second part is that once I optimize it, I can make sure that the others can also use my methods, my solutions to involve in their own research, and they can be benefited. That is the first part. Now, let me start for the coding part. Now, here's a Google Colab. You can register. You see, Google Colab is powered by Gemini. Okay, this is Gemini Airtel, and you can find it in your Gmail, or you can directly go to Google Colab, google.research collab.com. You can go and you can enter with your email. Okay, and this is how it looks like. It has a file. You can save it in your Google Drive, and it has a runtime. It is loaded with. But before that, we need to download certain repositories to conduct. Now, what kind of a repositories I need? So first of all, I need something which is can do the statistical analysis for me. Okay, so what I'll do is, and to save time, I have here I have done a complete task situation where this is my prompt. I have done my prompt, and I want to download a pip for a stats model. Now, this you can find in here. You can put it, and you can also take the help of Perplexity or any AI tool that please give me a Google Colab repository Python code for statistics. Okay, so this is Matpilot. This is actually a stats model. So this will actually allow my prompt to have a statistical design. Okay, I will just run it. First, I will run this one. Now, what will happen is this pip that is installed, this is the repositories will be installed in my Google Colab. Similarly, I want to have not only the statistical analysis. You see there is downloading is there. Okay, now satisfied. Okay, it is downloaded successfully. Perfect. Now I want to do the statistical analysis also, but I want different factors also. Okay, different factors, that the variables. For example, I have 10 variables with one response. For example, if I want to study, let's say, I will take a very quantitative approach. Let's say, for example, I'm preparing a cocktail from different plant sources. Okay, and I want to extract some of the oils which are anti-cancerous in nature. Just an hypothetical example. So all these plants, okay, so where should I mix it? How much temperature they have? How much humidity should they have? How many days should I store it? What is the process of extraction of oil? Everything, these are factors. Response is, I need that particular oil which has anti-cancerous property. So anti-cancerous property is my response, and all other things are my factors. Now, again, what I will do is I will install another repository, and this time this repository, I will go for, let's say, another code. I will go for this repository where I have multiple factors. I will run this one as well. So I will install statistics. I will install my design. Okay. So, and you can find it very easily. Okay. So here, okay, I would like to here, maybe there is some syntax error. I would like to run this one. So in this manner, I will, okay, so there is one code is missing. So I will just add this code, and now it is running. Okay, perfect. Now my both repositories are being injected, installed. Now it's time to do the magic of my research project, my research design. Okay, now in this part, I will take the help of Gemini. Now, you see, AI is a wonderful tool. I will take that help. Now, here's a Gemini. Okay, I will ask Gemini, and here is the prompt I have already done. That, and here I'm taking as I said, I'm taking one arbitrary extract that used for industrial purposes. Okay, dyeing industry. Of course, everyone knows about dyeing industry, and there are certain enzymes that I need as a cocktail in order to make sure to grow it better. Okay, so the more the growth, more number of enzymes I can apply in my dyeing industry or in my clothes, so that I can have beautiful clothes for longer time. So this is just a process of a manufacturing. Now, if I put it like this, and I will ask Gemini to create the tasks for me. Okay, now Gemini has creating the tasks. Remember, I have given 5 tasks in this prompt. I will discuss each and everything so that you can clearly know. First task I have given, please define my factors in level. For example, I have taken 6 factors. Okay, 6 factors that can induce or increase that particular enzyme. Those factors are physical as well as chemical. Physical means, okay, temperature, humidity, number of days, how many days I should incubate, like this. There is chemical components. For example, certain salts, certain chemicals, yeast, magnesium chloride, magnesium sulfide, all these things which is needed to grow this particular bacteria to increase more and more enzyme. I have taken that. Then I have asked him, please conduct a CCD, central composite design, based on my factors. Arbitrary, of course, because this is an arbitrary example. I do not have the exact figures, but AI will do for me just to test what is the hypothesis and how it looks like. And then I ask him to run the statistical analysis, complete statistical analysis in a regression model. And then again, finally, I ask, validate that model. After validation of model, again ask, create me the graphs of the most promising results. Of course, everything which is I'm doing here is based on the arbitrary values. You can take the real values from your experiment. Okay. Now, accept and run. Now the magic will start. Now you see, simulate experimental data, perform RSM analysis, generate contour plots and parity charts for my own, that how it looks like, the results, perform ANOVA and regression analysis, create 3D plots. I need 3D plots because I need response versus 2 factors, that how they are affecting. Then validate the model. Please validate the regression model. Okay. Then finish the task. So this I have given the work to ChatGPT. Now let's see, sorry, to Google Colab. Now let's see what it's doing. First of all, you see here, he is writing a code for physical factors and chemical factors. You see here, my physical factors is pH, temperature, humidity, time. My chemical factors is some salt, some glucose, something like this. And the levels, factorial levels. That means earlier I have told you about CCD, right? So how the optimization really works, very general, very layman language. If I'll talk about, you will take the highest value for the factors, you'll take the lowest value, you'll take the center value, you'll take the center and lowest intermediate value, you will take the center and highest intermediate value. So 5 values you have taken for every factor, because we don't know which, how much is the amount, what is the optimal part that we need to put. For example, if I'm cooking, okay, how much oil I need to put, how much other condiments I need to put. It's not like that you're putting the condiments equivalent to the things you are preparing. Okay, it is not. So something like an ingredient strategy, a recipe. Now, in statistical model, the recipe is with CCD is, we'll take 5 values, we'll do some randomizations, we'll do the regression analysis, we'll give you what you need to do. You just go to the lab, do this, and then always compare the results. Now, let me check this magic. You see, okay, my design of experiment is ready. You see here the table. He is saying that you have to run these many tests. Okay, these many tests. Go to the lab, prepare, print this sheet, go to, and of course, if it is a full factorial or, it depends upon how many number of factors you are doing. Okay, and this is given. Now, let me check. Has he simulated the activity? Yes, of course. It is giving me arbitrary, like this is the pH, this is the temperature, this is humidity, this is the lactase activity. For example, generally, arbitrarily, I'm taking about the lactase activity. This is one enzyme which is used heavily on so many industrial applications. Okay, now he's performing the task for me. You see, okay, so now there is one activity, yes, lactase activity. Now you see full, excellent, full DOE with statistical analysis he has given me. Okay, you see here, this is the standard ANOVA analysis as well as the regression analysis has given. You see here, and now he is stating that in order to generate the charts, let me check if he has generated the charts as well or not. Okay, so here are my charts. Here is my, okay, so this is my overall model terms. These are the factors which is concerning. So he's saying that if you want to have an absolute coefficient values are given in a tabulated form as well. And I'm also interested in contour plots. So let's check if it is giving me any contour plots or on 3D models. Yes, you see here the 3D model where temperature, pH versus activity. This is what I need. I need what is the effect of temperature. I need what is the effect of pH. And this is a 3D model. This is the lactase activity in the red. And here is the prediction. So you're getting, now I want to also see the validation of my RSM model. Let's check if he has done the validation or not. Okay, he has done the validation model and now he is suggesting me the next step. So you see here, the verify the model of predictive accuracy. The predictive accuracy has come somewhere around 85%. Of course, it is an arbitrary. Okay, I'm taking all this in an arbitrary system. You should take it on the real system where you have the real data. So I hope in this, and this is one very much simple design that I've done in the form of Python, with the use of Python, and which has been done in Google Colab. The entire simulation, entire results, everything has come up. And now if I want to do it something different, not in terms of this part, I can take, for example, in the response section, what if I take a qualitative response in that one and a qualitative parameters, or dependent and independent variables, or different variables, and then can I merge it? Yes, I can do that in Google Colab as well. So very simple. You can just first install what you want to do. Okay, just install that, whatever you want to do. And if you have any confusion that what is the command, what should I do, what should I write, just go to AI, tell them that I'm doing this experiment, or this, I want to design one experiment in Google Colab. I want to see the statistical analysis. I want to see the entire thing. And this is when you have done the experiment, you have done the research. Then you come up to this one for the analysis part. So you don't need SPSS, you don't need Statistica, you don't need these expensive. Yes, of course, you need them in terms of the verification part, because you see in Google Colab, whatever the command you are giving, you're getting the output. But in the statistical softwares, you are also getting the outputs, especially in terms of any analysis you want to do, multivariate analysis. If you want to go for single factor, double factor, multi-factor. So all these things, even in one-way ANOVA or two-way ANOVA or in the regression analysis. Now here you see in the regression analysis, here you see he has given me the entire and the minus means because there is minus, plus, and zero. So you have to understand mathematically. It is not like minus. It is minus means the minimal value, plus mean the highest value, zero means the middle value in terms of the CCD or RSM designs. So you don't need so much mathematical information, but simply you can just challenge yourself. And this is one exercise I would like to suggest to everyone today in this international conference, that go to Google Colab or first go to any AI tool and take the prompts for the Python. Okay, for example, I want to do one statistical analysis. I have the data. I have the data, but I want to do statistical analysis. And I also want to see different designs, different plots, that how is merging with single clicks. You see how much time it will take. Rather, it takes, I think, hardly 4 to 5 minutes, but your prompt must be correct. And then you download that in Google Colab. First download it, then with the help of Gemini, because Google Colab is powered with Gemini, you just type that I want this, Can you do that? These are the different tasks. I want you to complete it. Now the Google Gemini will write the code, it will execute the code, and you will see the entire data analysis in front of you. Then use your own critical thinking to verify that. Is it correct? It is not correct. How you verify it? Of course, you have done the research gap pretty well. You have done the literature review well. If in my Google Colab, in my model, the enzyme activity is coming way higher than already reported, or it's way higher means way higher, then of course there is some anomalies there. Even my experimental value and these validation values should match. At least 80 to 90% accuracy must be there. It is not like in experiment I'm having 10 and in validation it's showing 90. It can't be. In validation, if it's showing 8, 7, and I'm having 7, 9, or 10, then it is acceptable. Then your process is optimized. So you should also try this, the similar thing in your own research journey. If you have any confusion, definitely you can ask the experts in our Edoxia. And it is very simple as well. Make it very simple. Do not complicate things unnecessarily. In quantitative research, everything is about the numbers, and numbers will never lie. So this is the end of my session. Thank you so much for patient listening, and special thanks to the Honorable Chief Patron and the organizing committee for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And if you have any questions, you can write down in the chat box. You can raise your hand. We would love to discuss any of your questions in that manner as well. So finally, I would like to now move forward to